Welcome to the channel, and in this video I'll show you exactly how I managed to make $3,000 today in one trade from the Caribbean at 23 years old. So before we get into that, if you're new here, my name is Kevon Roach and this is my channel where I share what it's like being a full-time forex trader from the Caribbean, life both on and off the charts. So if that sounds like it's something interesting to you, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the like button while you're at it, because we got a lot more content coming your way. Alright, so we're back with another video. And I don't know what to tell y'all this, bro. I really don't know what to tell y'all this. Alright, let me change it up. Alright, so I don't even know how to tell you what happened today. As you know, in my previous video I uploaded and I told you that all of the accounts were blown. I had about 96k in funding in total, and everything was blown. But the truth is, not everything was quite blown. I still had two 20k accounts that were not blown, because they were the two standard accounts from SiEG. So that was the two-step standard account at SiEG. And the thing about it is the two-step and the one-step are different in the amount of drawdown that you can take. So once I actually seen the two notifications for SiEG, I just assumed that that was the only two notifications that I was seeing, but I probably received all four and I did not check it. So after further inspection in my dashboard, I saw that I actually still had two accounts still live. So at that point, to be honest, I had less courage. At that point, I had less courage. So I wasn't too excited about opening any other trades on the account, and I was preparing to purchase new accounts. And I was thinking to maybe take a little break for like a week and then maybe go back to also trading on my personal funds. But I said before I do that, maybe I could try to, you know, just for the sake of it, bring this account back up to break even as well, bring it out of drawdown. I believe I was about $1,600, almost $1,700 in drawdown. And I placed a trade. It was a sell trade, and before I actually show you the trade on the charts, let me just show you what happened. So it was two of the accounts that I placed this trade on, and usually my lot size would be anywhere from 0.03 to 0.07, right? That was the largest lot size that I used on this account thus far. And obviously I'm managing my risk, but before I was risking about 0.2 to 0.3%. And today, actually not today, before I managed to almost blow all of the accounts, I decided to increase my risk to 1%. So I stuck to that 1%, and today I opened about 3 lots, which was the same amount of lots that I opened the last time where I had the massive loss. I didn't manage to record me actually taking those losses, but I still recorded a video after the losses. So without any fluff at all, let me just show y'all. I'm gonna include some screenshots. Yeah, I'm gonna just include them screenshots so you can see it better. But as you can see there, I made if you could see it right there, I made like 2k of this trade. Yeah, this is on one account, and this is the SiEG capital SiEG fund account. That's that account was down like $1,700, and that was through a series of trades. And this other account here was also down, and I managed to bring this one also back to break even. So this account is at 20k 100 and the other account is 20k 490. So it's possible that I could still end up, you know, losing those accounts, but the fact that I still have them is at least good to know. Now let me jump up on the screen and just give y'all a real quick rundown of that trade and what was my whole thought process and, you know, the whole reasoning behind me actually entering that trade. Before we jump into the charts, let me just show you guys the position where I entered the trade up there and the position where I exited. Real quick, when we just go on here to the charts, we'll notice that this morning, let me just try to zoom out to the larger time frame. So in order to give you the full thought process behind what led me to taking this trade this morning, we need to start on the larger time frame. Now we could go to the daily, but if I'm being honest with you, I only went out to the 4 hour to get a more overall trend of the market. So on the 4 hour, I noticed that we've been bearish since last Thursday to now. We've just been putting in consecutive bear candles, sometimes some small bull candles here and there, but for the most part we've been bearish. And also yesterday we managed to take these lows over here. Let me just zoom in. Right, so we managed to take this low right here and this low right here with price action yesterday and created a relatively equal low over here. So with all that being said, we still ended up breaking that low later on in the night for yesterday. Right, so this morning, coming to the charts, if we drop down to the hourly, we'll notice that around 6-7 a.m. the market was a bit bullish after having this major dip around 1 to 2 a.m. So let me just zoom in and see if I can extend the charts. We had just this small leg of bullish price action even on the hourly, closing with a fair value gap right here and another small one at the top here. Let me mark it just between this candle and that candle, and also right there on this candle. But that fair value gap was not respected because once price got up here, we noticed that it's also the beginning of a fair value gap on the hourly above these highs. Right there, this gap. So it's the beginning of that gap. The hourly candle did not close in that area, and then when we drop down to the 15-minute as well, we can see that price action play out similarly on the 15-minute. So once I identified all this, and I also noticed that coming down here to this low that was created this morning at 6 a.m. when we zoom out and try to check the price history, it's just before this low that was formed all the way here. This low at 21,137 and this low at 21,205. So there was still sell side liquidity resting below the low this morning. And I thought that maybe if we wanted to keep pushing lower, we would look to manipulate liquidity in the upside, maybe filling some fair value gap and then shooting to the downside. So after identifying those previous lows in the distance and also identifying the current position of price, seeing that price action even when we drop down to the 15-minute and we zoom out, it's still above in an open fair value gap. So there's a fair value gap on the hourly, and there's also a fair value gap here when we zoom down to the 15-minute. Not too straight of a line, but you get the picture of where the fair value gap was. Once price came back, it didn't quite touch that area, but I noticed that this low that was formed before price went up to test that fair value gap and break these highs, it broke these highs, but it might not have filled this fair value gap exactly. Actually, if I draw it out in time, let me just remove these. Just by looking at the cursor, the dotted line, it might have just tipped it and then fell to the bottom. So it still is valid even if it didn't touch it, as long as it took out these highs, which would have been highs farmed on Monday at from 7 to 1 a.m. So all these highs were old enough, and it ran that liquidity. And just like we always look for, the low that was farmed before that liquidity was ran, if we broke below that impulsively, I had a sell stop set there, and I was also selling from up here because I noticed that we did not manage to close above any of these old highs, and we also closed very impulsively. I think I had a sell right on this second candle that closed inside this fair value gap, seeing that, let me just zoom in a little bit. So this bullish candle right here also managed to fill this gap that was formed just before it broke these highs. So if we were still going up, you'd like to see a candle close above there. Instead, this bearish candle closed below it, and then this second bearish candle also closed below everything inside of this bullish fair value gap, telling me that price was not respecting this fair value gap and wanted to push lower. So I had a sell from right up here. I was also thinking that if price should run this high, I would also have a sell, so I would have one small loss and still go back in for the trade. And yeah, price came down from the first entry and went straight into profit for the second entry. It was a sell stop. And the thing about this trade, however, is I did not have a take profit set. I had an alert set, but I didn't hear the alert go off. And when I came to the charts, we were about as about 11:30 New York time, which would be this candle right here. So this candle was now coming back up, and I closed all of the positions for a total of $3,300 in profit. So to be honest, not too much else to like go over with this trade. It was an otherwise normal trade. Yeah, it was an otherwise normal trade. I took normal risk for the, I want to say, account, the total account, but not the total drawdown amount, which is the actual account that I am in control of when it's in prop firm funds. But that's a conversation for our next video. Before I close off this video, what I really and truly wanted to, just say to anybody out there that might be in drawdown, that might be going through a losing streak, that might be questioning their skills or their strategy or whatever the case is, was if you're currently in some drawdown, or you're going through a losing streak, or you're doubting your strategy, or whatever the case might be, just remember, sometimes, this is not all the times, but sometimes it really does take one trade. Like, it really, honestly, truly just takes one trade. I'm shooting this video hours after I closed the position and I exited and everything, and it still kind of feels unreal, right? I'm following the discipline, I'm following the rules, I'm still doing all the things that I need to do, and to see it work, to see it still put you where you would need to be if you followed your rules, it puts you where you would have been if you stuck to the strategy. And the stuff that not everybody online talking likes, so the stuff that you see online, a lot of it is fake, a lot of it is made up, a lot of it is bend and stretch truths, but some of the stuff actually works. The things that make sense, you'll know what makes sense, you'll know what is too good to be true. You'll know that discipline pays off. You'll know that risk management pays off. You'll know that showing up every day and just looking to become 1% better every single soling day pays off. So that's honestly all I got for this video. Moving forward, I'll still obviously keep the same risk. The stop loss and everything is still there for sure. I'm managing the risk. And I'll also admit that I need to be a bit more attentive to the charts, because I came to the charts at a very good time, right? But it won't always be like that. I could sit back and reflect on the days where in this year, for the same quarter, I've missed closing a trade at the best price because I was not at the charts and I did not set a take profit. So there is still some work to be done there. It's not that I'm seeing this victory and just letting it get to me. I quickly humbled myself. That's one, because I understood that this is not something that would have usually happened if I was monitoring the charts. I would have checked what I aimed for. Or it's possible that I wouldn't even hold for here, because look at this wick right here. I probably would have closed right there because this was my first target anyways. So that's all a possibility. And even in times of victory, I believe it's important for us to reflect. I'm journaling this trade. I didn't manage to catch it before in screenshot, but I still managed to journal this trade, so that's some amount of good out of it. And I'm out of the charts for the day. I haven't placed any other trades, and tomorrow I'm going to, you know, remove myself from today's results. I'm going to approach the charts with a neutral mindset and, you know, look to do it again, look to repeat, because trading is just, you know, rinse and repeat, just doing the same thing over and over and remaining disciplined and making money from it. But that's gonna be it for this one. There's absolutely no reason for me to keep dragging it out. If by chance you made it to this part in the video and you're interested in learning how to trade, or you're interested in joining a community of whether you're a beginner or other professional or experienced traders who've been trading for a little while, then links to all of the communities will be in the description below. You can click on the first link to learn more about the free course and joining the free communities as well. And you can also search in Google GTFX learn.live and, you know, just check it out and see which of the learning material you're interested in. So that's also gonna be it for this video. If you made it to the end, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Peace.